Don't skip this because someone has planned something for you on December 25th. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, and I'm saying that slowly because I need you to feel it, not just hear it, because you didn't end up here by accident, you didn't randomly pause on this, and you're not imagining the pull in your chest as you listen. This is a divine interruption meant specifically for you, and December 25th is not just a holiday on a calendar for you, it is a marked moment, a spiritually scheduled appointment, something that has been planned quietly, intentionally, lovingly, while you were busy surviving, healing, and wondering if anyone truly saw you. And listen to this, because the universe has been listening to every unspoken prayer you whispered when no one else was around, every tear you wiped away in silence, every time you said, "I'm tired but I'll keep going," and God heard you when you thought your voice was lost in the noise. Don't scroll, because what I'm about to say is meant to land directly on your soul, not your logic, and here it is. Someone has been preparing something for you, something meaningful, something emotional, something that will shift how you see yourself and your future, and it has been aligning longer than you realize, longer than you can remember, and you've felt the signs, haven't you? The repeated numbers like 11. 11 showing up when you least expect it, the 222 reminding you that alignment is happening even when you feel uncertain, the 444 whispering that you are protected even on days you feel alone. This message is for you because your spirit has been waking up, slowly at first, then all at once, and that's why old patterns stopped feeling comfortable, old connections started fading, and solitude became both painful and sacred. Listen to this, because December 25th carries a reveal, not chaos, not loss, but revelation. Something hidden is coming into the light, and it may arrive softly, not with fireworks but with truth, and when it happens you'll feel it in your chest before your mind catches up, because your soul already knows. And don't scroll, because there is soulmate energy tied to this moment, and I need you to hear this carefully. There is someone connected to your destiny who has been thinking about you in ways they don't even fully understand. Someone who felt your absence even when you weren't officially gone, someone who replayed conversations, reread messages, remembered your laugh, and wondered if it was too late. And the reason it's been quiet isn't because nothing was happening, it's because courage was being built behind the scenes, healing was being demanded, timing was being adjusted, and God does not rush what is meant to last. Listen to this, because if you've been dreaming more intensely lately, if memories resurfaced out of nowhere, if a name crossed your mind for no clear reason, those are not coincidences, those are spiritual nudges, gentle taps saying, pay attention. And December 25th holds a moment of emotional honesty, a truth that has been held back, a feeling that could no longer stay silent. And you might be tempted to doubt this because your past taught you to protect yourself, but this message is for you because you've grown, you've matured, you've healed in ways you didn't even celebrate, and now you're ready for something different. Something aligned, something that meets you where you are instead of where you were. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't send confirmations without intention, and I need you to understand this part deeply. What's coming is not meant to hurt you, it's meant to restore you, it's meant to remind you that you are lovable, chosen, and seen, even after everything you've been through. Listen to this, because December 25th may bring a message, a call, an apology, a confession, or an encounter that feels almost surreal, like time slowed down just for you, and you'll know in that moment why things didn't work out before, why doors closed. Why you had to wait, because the version of you back then couldn't have held what's coming now, and this is where your spiritual awakening matters, the lessons, the boundaries, the self-respect, the the nights you chose growth over comfort, all of it prepared you for this alignment. And don't scroll, because I need to say this clearly as if God Himself is speaking through this moment. You were never forgotten, you were never late, and you were never asking for too much, you were simply being prepared, and December 25th is not about perfection, it's about sincerity, about love that chooses truth over fear, and if your heart is racing right now, that's because your spirit recognizes this message as familiar, as if it's remembering something it always knew. Listen to this. Because doubt will try to creep in and tell you this is too good to be true, but faith is louder when you let it be, and the universe has been asking you to trust just a little longer, just a little deeper, and don't scroll, because this is your reminder that miracles don't always arrive loudly, sometimes they arrive gently, wrapped in honesty, timing, and courage, and when this unfolds, you won't need to force it. It will feel natural, steady, and grounding, like something finally clicking into place. And I need you to hear this next part with your whole heart. You deserve this, not because you were perfect, but because you stayed kind, you stayed open, you stayed willing to love even when it scared you, and December 25th is a turning point, a spiritual checkpoint where you realize that the universe was always working in your favor, even when it felt like silence. Listen to this, because if this message resonates, it's not random, it's confirmation, and I want you to comment, "I receive this," if your soul feels seen right now, because speaking it activates it, and let me say this to you as gently and powerfully as I can, as if God is whispering directly to your heart. Keep believing, stay open, don't harden your heart now, because what I have planned for you is rooted in love, truth, and divine timing, and if you feel peace reading this, that's your sign. Don't ignore it, stay connected, subscribe to this channel, because you're not meant to walk this season alone, and December 25th is closer than you think, and so is the blessing that was always meant to find you. Don't scroll. Stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize, and I say that with intention because what's unfolding around you is not random, it's not coincidence, it's not imagination, it's alignment, and even if your mind tries to question it, your spirit already knows something is shifting, something is preparing to step forward. And you've felt it in the quiet moments when you pause and suddenly feel emotional for no clear reason. Listen to this, because the silence you've been walking through was never empty, it was sacred, it was a holding space where God and the universe were rearranging things you couldn't see yet. And don't scroll, because I need you to hear this clearly. Delays were not denials, distance was not rejection, and confusion was not punishment, it was protection. And if you've been asking why things slowed down, why certain people disappeared, why conversations ended without closure, this message is for you because the answer is finally coming into focus, and it's coming gently, not to overwhelm you, but to restore you. Listen to this. Because someone has been wrestling with their feelings about you, quietly, privately, honestly, and they've been trying to convince themselves that it was easier to stay silent than to be vulnerable, but the universe doesn't allow soul connections to remain hidden forever, and December energy has been stirring something inside them, a restlessness, a pull, a sense that time is moving and truth can't be postponed anymore. And don't scroll, because this is where your intuition matters, those sudden thoughts, the dreams where a familiar face appears, the emotional waves that hit you out of nowhere. Those are not random memories, those are energetic conversations happening beyond words. Listen to this, because your spiritual awakening has made you more sensitive to truth, even when it hasn't been spoken yet, and that's why you felt disconnected from things that once felt normal. and more drawn to meaning, depth, and authenticity. And this message is for you because you're stepping into a phase where surface-level connections can no longer satisfy your soul, and the universe responds to that kind of growth. Don't scroll, because angel numbers didn't follow you here by accident. Seeing 333 when you question your path, 555 when you feel change approaching, 777 when you finally choose yourself. These are confirmations telling you that what's unfolding is divinely supported, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Listen to this, because December holds emotional truth. And truth doesn't always arrive wrapped the way we expect. Sometimes it comes as an unexpected message, sometimes as a conversation you didn't plan to have, sometimes as a realization that hits you so deeply you have to sit with it. And when that moment comes, you'll understand why you had to become stronger before receiving it, because the version of you from the past would have doubted it, chased it, or settled for less, but the version of you now can receive it with clarity, boundaries, and peace. Don't scroll, because soulmate energy is moving closer, not louder, closer, and this isn't about fantasy or illusion, it's about recognition. About two souls finally being honest with themselves, and if you've been feeling a sense of anticipation mixed with calm, like something good is approaching but you're not anxious about it, that's alignment, that's your spirit trusting the process before your mind understands it. Listen to this, because the universe has been teaching you patience not as punishment, but as preparation. And God has been teaching you self-worth not through comfort, but through resilience, and every time you chose not to beg, not to chase, not to settle, you were aligning yourself with something better, something real, something that meets you halfway. Don't scroll, because I need to say this as clearly as possible. You are not being tested right now, you are being positioned, and what's coming does not require you to prove yourself, explain yourself, or shrink yourself. It requires you to receive, and that's why your heart feels both nervous and hopeful at the same time. Listen to this, because December carries a spiritual checkpoint, a moment where you look back and realize how far you've come, and look forward and finally feel safe to hope again. And when truth arrives, it won't feel chaotic, it will feel grounding, like something settling into place, like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. And don't scroll, because doubt will try to speak louder right before alignment arrives. It always does, but this message is for you because you are learning to trust your inner voice more than your past fears, and that is powerful. Listen to this, because the person connected to your destiny has been forced to grow too, and silence was part of their lesson, not your rejection. And when courage finally speaks, it will sound different than before, calmer, clearer, more sincere, and you'll notice the difference immediately. Don't scroll, because this next season is about emotional honesty, not emotional chasing, about mutual effort, not confusion, about peace, not intensity disguised as passion, and the universe does not bless chaos forever, it blesses growth, alignment, and truth. Listen to this, because if your heart feels seen right now, that's confirmation, and I want you to stay open without forcing outcomes, trust without losing yourself, and believe without fear, because God does not bring blessings to break you, He brings them to restore you. And if this message resonates, if your soul feels calm and alert at the same time, comment, "I trust the timing," and let that be your declaration, and hear this final whisper as if it's coming directly from God. You are exactly where you need to be, nothing meant for you will miss you, and what is coming will arrive with clarity, peace, and purpose. So stay connected, subscribe to this channel, because this journey isn't over, and what's unfolding next will make sense of everything that came before. Don't scroll. Stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, even if you don't fully understand why yet, because what you're feeling lately is not confusion, it's anticipation, and the universe doesn't stir your spirit without purpose, and I need you to hear this slowly and clearly. Something is rearranging itself around you, quietly, gently, intentionally, and it's happening in a way your mind can't track but your soul can sense, and that's why you've been feeling reflective, emotional, sometimes calm, sometimes restless, all at once. Listen to this, because when God is preparing a shift, He often brings stillness before movement, and that stillness you've been in wasn't loneliness, it was alignment. It was space being made for something real, something lasting. Something honest, and don't scroll, because the waiting season you're coming out of taught you discernment, not desperation, and that's important, because what's approaching you now doesn't respond to chasing, it responds to readiness, and this message is for you because you didn't give up even when you were tired of being strong, you kept showing up even when no one clapped for you, and heaven noticed. Listen to this. Because soulmate energy doesn't rush, it recognizes, and the connection tied to your destiny has been moving closer energetically before it moves closer physically, and that's why you felt emotional waves without clear reasons, why certain songs hit deeper, why silence feels louder, why memories surface without warning. Those are not distractions, those are reminders. Don't scroll, because someone has been feeling the weight of unsaid words, and the longer they waited, the heavier it became. Not because you demanded anything, but because truth has a way of pressing on the heart until it's spoken. Listen to this, because fear delayed honesty, not lack of love, and timing required growth on both sides, and you may not have seen their inner work, but it's been happening, and December energy has been activating courage, awakening accountability, and stirring reflection, and this message is for you because you've been growing too, in ways you didn't announce. In ways you didn't even realize until you looked back and noticed you no longer react the same way. You no longer beg for clarity, you no longer settle for confusion disguised as connection, and that's spiritual maturity. Don't scroll, because angel numbers didn't follow you here for entertainment. Seeing 111 when you think about new beginnings, 222 when you wonder if you should trust again, 888 when you finally choose peace over chaos. These are confirmations telling you that balance is returning, that alignment is active, and that what's meant for you is moving with intention. Listen to this, because the universe never asks you to lose yourself to receive love, and what's coming will not require you to shrink, perform, or explain your worth. It will meet you where you are, and that's why patience was required, because the wrong version of someone could have damaged the right version of you, and God protects what He plans to bless. Don't scroll, because the clarity that's coming will feel different from the chaos you've known before. It will feel calm, steady, and grounding. Like something settling instead of exploding, and that might feel unfamiliar if you've associated love with intensity, but peace is the new sign, peace is the confirmation. Listen to this, because your spiritual awakening has tuned your intuition to truth, and that's why you can sense when something is real before it's spoken, and when this unfolds, you won't have to guess, you won't have to decode mixed signals, you won't have to question intentions. It will be clear, and clarity is kindness. Don't scroll, because right before alignment manifests, the mind often tries to revisit old doubts, old disappointments, old stories, but this message is for you because you're not meant to relive the past, you're meant to redeem it, and what's approaching will make sense of the delays, the endings, the unanswered questions. Listen to this, because December carries emotional truth, and truth doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes as a quiet message that shifts everything, sometimes as a conversation that finally feels honest, sometimes as an apology that isn't rushed or defensive, sometimes as a realization that lands softly but deeply, and when it happens, you'll feel relief before excitement, and that's how you'll know it's real. Don't scroll, because love aligned with destiny doesn't bring anxiety, it brings assurance, and the universe has been teaching you to trust your inner peace as guidance, not ignore it. Listen to this, because God does not bring blessings that confuse your spirit, He brings blessings that confirm your growth, and if you've been feeling ready but not desperate, hopeful but not anxious, that's alignment, that's preparation meeting opportunity. Don't scroll, because the connection tied to your soul contract required healing on both sides, and silence was not abandonment, it was transformation. And when truth finally meets courage, it doesn't come to reopen wounds. It comes to close cycles properly. Listen to this, because your heart has been guarded not to keep love out, but to let the right love in, and that's wisdom, not fear, and the universe honors that. Don't scroll, because what's coming will respect your boundaries, honor your growth, and choose you without confusion. And you'll recognize it not by intensity but by consistency. Listen to this, because you're stepping into a season where love doesn't have to be painful to be real, where effort is mutual, where communication is honest, where presence is intentional, and that's the reward for the work you did on yourself when no one was watching. Don't scroll, because if your heart feels calm listening to this, that's confirmation. And I want you to comment, I'm open to receive, if your spirit resonates with this message, because speaking it activates it. And let me say this gently but powerfully, as if God Himself is speaking to you right now. Trust me, I've seen your tears, I've counted your patience, I've protected you from what wasn't ready, and I am bringing you what is. Stay open, stay grounded, stay connected, and subscribe to this channel. Because this journey is unfolding step by step, and what's coming next will feel like home to your soul. Don't scroll, stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, even if you can't explain why your chest feels tight and calm at the same time, because that feeling is recognition, it's your spirit responding to truth, and the truth is this. You are standing in the middle of a divine unfolding, and even though it feels quiet on the outside, there is so much movement happening behind the scenes that heaven itself is leaning in. Listen to this, because the season you are in right now is not about striving, proving, or chasing, it's about receiving, and that can feel uncomfortable when you've spent so long being the strong one, the patient one. The one who held it together while everyone else fell apart, but this message is for you. Because God saw every moment you chose grace over bitterness, growth over ego, and faith over fear, and He has not forgotten a single one. Don't scroll, because the stillness you've been experiencing is not stagnation, it's sacred preparation, it's the pause before alignment becomes visible. And that's why you've been feeling emotionally sensitive lately, crying over things you thought you healed, smiling at small moments that suddenly feel meaningful, reflecting on your journey with a softness. Instead of regret, listen to this, because your spiritual awakening has shifted how you experience life, and that shift is what allows the next blessing to finally reach you without breaking you. And if you've noticed yourself no longer reacting the way you used to, no longer begging for clarity, no longer forcing conversations, that's growth, that's divine maturity. Don't scroll, because someone connected to your destiny has been feeling this shift too, and it's been unsettling for them in the best way, because when one soul awakens, it sends a signal across the connection, and they've been feeling it in quiet moments, in late-night thoughts, in sudden realizations that they can no longer run from what they feel. Listen to this, because fear has kept them silent before, but growth is pushing them toward truth now, and December energy is not allowing avoidance to survive, it's asking for honesty, courage, and accountability. And this message is for you because you don't need to chase what is meant to choose you, you don't need to convince what is meant to commit, and you don't need to prove what is already written. Don't scroll, because angel numbers have been surrounding you as confirmation. 111 reminding you that a new chapter is opening, 222 telling you that balance is returning, 444 reassuring you that you are protected even when things feel uncertain. These are not coincidences, these are signals meant to calm your spirit and anchor your faith. Listen to this, because the universe communicates in patterns when words aren't enough, and your soul has been listening even when your mind doubted, and that's why you're still here, still open, still hopeful in a quiet, grounded way. Don't scroll, because love aligned with destiny doesn't rush in chaos, it arrives with clarity, and the clarity that's coming will feel like relief, not anxiety. It will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. And when it happens, you'll notice how calm you are, how steady your heart feels, and that's how you'll know this is real. Listen to this, because your past taught you lessons that prepared you for discernment, not fear, and that's why you won't accept half-truths anymore, you won't settle for confusion, you won't ignore your intuition just to keep someone close, and the universe honors that level of self-respect. Don't scroll, because the connection tied to your soul contract required transformation on both sides, and silence was part of that process, not punishment, not rejection, but refinement, and when truth finally speaks, it will sound different than before, softer, steadier, more sincere, without defensiveness or games. Listen to this, because God does not bring blessings that test your worth, He brings blessings that confirm it, and what's approaching will meet you with mutual effort, emotional honesty, and presence, not excuses, not delays, not confusion. Don't scroll, because the season you are entering is about alignment over intensity, peace over drama, and depth over illusion, and that might feel unfamiliar if you've been conditioned to associate love with struggle, but peace is not boring, peace is safe, peace is sacred. Listen to this, because your spiritual awakening has taught you that consistency is louder than words, and the universe responds to that wisdom by bringing you experiences that match it, and when this unfolds, you won't have to guess how someone feels, you won't have to read between lines. You won't have to overthink every interaction, it will be clear, and clarity is one of the greatest forms of love. Don't scroll, because right before manifestation, the mind often tries to revisit old stories, reminding you of times you were disappointed, abandoned, or let down. But this message is for you because you are not reliving the past, you are closing it, and what's coming will not repeat old cycles. It will rewrite them. Listen to this, because December carries a powerful energetic shift, a checkpoint where intentions become actions and feelings become words, and even if you don't know exactly how it will happen yet, you can trust that it will arrive in a way that honors your growth. Don't scroll, because you've been learning to trust your inner peace as guidance, and that peace you feel right now is not complacency, it's confidence, it's your soul saying, I'm ready. Listen to this, because God has been preparing you quietly, shaping your heart gently, removing what no longer fits, and protecting you from what wasn't ready to meet you yet, and that protection mattered more than you know. Don't scroll, because the next chapter of your life is not about proving your value, it's about living in it, it's about allowing yourself to be chosen without fear, loved without confusion, and supported without conditions. Listen to this, because if your heart feels calm and emotional at the same time, that's confirmation, and I want you to comment, I trust what's unfolding, if this message resonates with your spirit, because declaring it anchors it, and hear this final truth as if God Himself is speaking directly to you. I have not brought you this far to leave you confused. I am guiding what you cannot see, aligning what you cannot control, and bringing you what your heart has been quietly praying for. Stay open, stay grounded, and stay connected, and subscribe to this channel, because this journey is still unfolding, and what comes next will feel like peace finally finding you. Don't scroll. Stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, even if you don't fully understand why your emotions feel closer to the surface lately, because what you're experiencing is not weakness, it's awareness, it's your spirit responding to alignment, and alignment often feels like vulnerability before it feels like peace. Listen to this. Because the universe has been gently slowing you down not to frustrate you but to protect you, to make sure that what enters your life next is something you can actually keep, something that can grow with you instead of draining you, and this message is for you because you've spent so long being strong that you forgot how much strength it takes to stay open, and God has seen that. Don't scroll, because the quiet moments you've been having lately, the reflections, the sudden emotions, the memories that come and go, they are not setbacks. They are confirmations that you are shedding an old version of yourself, one that survived instead of received, one that settled instead of trusted. Listen to this, because when the soul prepares to receive something real, it releases what no longer matches its frequency, and that release can feel heavy before it feels freeing. And if you've noticed that certain people, habits, or thought patterns no longer resonate with you, that's not loss, that's growth. Don't scroll, because someone connected to your destiny has been feeling this energetic shift too. Even if they don't have the language for it yet, and they've been reflecting on their own patterns, their own fears, their own avoidance, realizing that running no longer works when the connection is real. Listen to this, because love tied to destiny does not disappear, it transforms, it matures, it waits until both hearts are capable of holding it with care, and that's why timing mattered so much, not to test you, but to prepare both sides. And this message is for you because you didn't stop believing even when believing hurt, you didn't harden your heart even when it would have been easier to shut down, and that choice matters more than you know. Don't scroll, because angel numbers have been following you like breadcrumbs, 555 appearing when you sense change, reminding you that transformation is active, 777 showing up when you choose faith over fear, confirming that you are spiritually supported, 999 appearing when something is ending so something better can begin. These are not random numbers, they are reassurance sent when your soul needs encouragement. Listen to this, because the universe speaks softly to those who are willing to listen, and you have been listening even on days you doubted yourself. Don't scroll, because the connection approaching your life will not feel like confusion or emotional whiplash. It will feel grounded, intentional, and honest. And that might surprise you if you've been conditioned to associate love with intensity and uncertainty, but peace is the sign now, peace is the confirmation. Listen to this, because what's coming will not rush you, pressure you, or leave you guessing. It will meet you where you are, respect your boundaries, and choose you without hesitation. And that's why you had to learn patience, because impatience would have accepted less than you deserve. Don't scroll, because right now you are standing at the edge of a new emotional chapter. And the reason it feels quiet is because it's being written with intention, not impulse, and when it begins, it won't explode into your life, it will settle into it, like something that was always meant to be there. Listen to this, because your spiritual awakening has taught you discernment, and discernment is why you no longer chase words, you watch actions, you no longer ignore red flags, you trust your intuition. And the universe responds to that by sending you experiences that don't require you to abandon yourself. Don't scroll, because the person tied to your soul contract has been learning this too, realizing that love without effort is illusion, that connection without accountability is temporary, and growth has been humbling them in ways you may never fully see. Listen to this, because silence was not indifference, it was internal work, and when truth finally speaks, it will sound sincere, steady, and grounded, without excuses or defensiveness. And you'll feel the difference immediately. Don't scroll, because what's coming is not meant to reopen old wounds, it's meant to heal them properly, to bring closure where there was confusion, clarity where there was silence, and peace where there was longing. Listen to this, because December carries a frequency of truth, and truth doesn't arrive to hurt you, it arrives to free you, and when it reaches you, you won't feel anxious, you'll feel relieved, and that relief is how you'll know this is aligned. Don't scroll, because the universe does not bring blessings that require you to abandon your self-respect, it brings blessings that honor it, and the love moving toward you will not require you to beg for effort or clarity, it will offer both willingly. Listen to this, because you are stepping into a season where love is mutual, where effort is balanced, where communication is honest, and that's the reward for all the inner work you did when no one was watching. Don't scroll, because doubt may try to resurface right now, reminding you of past disappointments, failed expectations, and broken promises, but this message is for you because you are not the same person who experienced those things, and the version of you now will not repeat old cycles. Listen to this, because God does not repeat lessons you've already learned, He brings new experiences that match your growth, and if you've been feeling ready but calm, hopeful but grounded, that's confirmation that alignment is near. Don't scroll, because what's unfolding does not require you to control outcomes. It requires you to trust timing, and timing has been working in your favor even when you couldn't see it. Listen to this, because the universe has been rearranging circumstances, conversations, and hearts to bring things into alignment without forcing anything, and that's why it feels natural instead of rushed. Don't scroll, because your heart has been protected for a reason, not to isolate you, but to prepare you for something that can last, something that honors your sensitivity instead of exploiting it. Listen to this, because love aligned with destiny does not make you anxious, it makes you feel safe to be yourself, and that safety is sacred. Don't scroll, because if your chest feels warm listening to this, that's your spirit recognizing truth, and I want you to comment, I am ready to receive, if this message resonates with you, because speaking it anchors it into your reality. And hear this next part as if God Himself is speaking directly to you. I have seen your patience, I have felt your tears, I have protected you from what would have hurt you long term, and I am not done with your story. Stay open, stay faithful, stay connected, and subscribe to this channel, because what's coming next will not confuse you, it will confirm everything you've been hoping for quietly, and when it arrives, you'll understand why it had to happen exactly this way. Don't scroll. Stay here with me just a little longer and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than ever, and I say that with divine certainty, not guesswork, because you did not come this far to be left wondering, doubting, or unfinished, and I need you to hear this as if God Himself is speaking directly to you in this moment. I have seen everything you survived, I have felt every tear you wiped away in silence, and I have counted every night you questioned yourself but still chose to keep going, and none of it was wasted, none of it was unseen. Listen to this, because the chapter you are closing right now required strength you didn't know you had, and the chapter opening in front of you requires trust, and that trust is what I have been building in you slowly, gently, deliberately. Don't scroll, because this is the moment where clarity replaces confusion, where peace replaces anxiety, where truth replaces silence, and what is coming into your life now is not meant to test you, it is meant to confirm you. Listen to this, because you are no longer in the season of proving your worth, you are in the season of receiving what aligns with it, and I know there were moments you felt overlooked, delayed, or forgotten, but I was protecting you. I was removing what couldn't grow with you, and I was preparing what would. And if you could see the full picture right now, you would understand why timing mattered so much. Don't scroll, because the love approaching you is not chaotic, it is intentional, it is grounded, it is honest, and it is choosing you without confusion, and that's why you had to learn patience, because impatience would have settled for half love, half effort, half truths. Listen to this. Because your spiritual awakening was never about being alone forever, it was about becoming whole enough to recognize what is real, and that wholeness you've been cultivating quietly is exactly what allows the next blessing to arrive without breaking you. Don't scroll, because the connection tied to your destiny is no longer delayed by fear, it is moving with courage now, and when it reaches you, it will feel different than before. Calmer, clearer, safer, and you will not have to chase it, explain yourself, or question where you stand. Listen to this, because I did not teach you discernment just to bring you confusion again. I taught you discernment so you could recognize peace when it arrives, and peace is the sign, peace is the confirmation, peace is the answer you've been praying for without realizing it. Don't scroll, because the version of you listening to this right now is stronger, wiser, and more grounded than the version who once begged for clarity, and that growth is why what's coming can finally stay. Listen to this, because you are stepping into a season where love is mutual, effort is balanced, communication is honest, and presence is intentional, and that is not by accident. That is the reward for all the inner work you did when no one was applauding you. Don't scroll, because I need to say this clearly and gently, as if God Himself is placing His hand over your heart. You were never asking for too much, you were simply asking the wrong people, and I had to remove them not to punish you, but to protect what I was building in you. Listen to this, because what's approaching will not require you to abandon your boundaries, silence your intuition, or shrink your light. It will honor you, meet you, and choose you, and that is why the waiting season had purpose. Don't scroll, because December was not random. The timing was not coincidence, and the shifts you felt were not imagination, they were signals that alignment was activating, and even now, as you listen, something inside you feels calm and emotional at the same time, and that is your spirit recognizing truth. Listen to this, because doubt may still try to whisper, reminding you of past disappointments, broken promises, and unanswered prayers, but hear my voice louder than your fear. I am not repeating old cycles in your life, I am closing them, and what comes next will not mirror your past, it will redeem it. Don't scroll, because I did not bring you this far to leave you halfway healed, halfway loved, or halfway fulfilled. I am completing what I started, and what is meant for you will arrive with clarity, peace, and purpose. Listen to this, because when it happens, you will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel grounded, you will not feel anxious, you will feel safe, and you will not feel confused. You will feel certain, and that certainty is your sign. Don't scroll, because I need you to remember this when your mind tries to rush the process. Nothing meant for you will miss you, Nothing aligned with your soul will bypass you, and nothing real requires you to force it. Listen to this, because your job right now is not to chase outcomes, it is to stay open, stay faithful, and stay aligned, and I am handling the rest. Don't scroll, because this season is about trust being rewarded, patience being honored, and faith becoming visible. And I know you're tired, but I also know you're ready. Ready to receive without fear, ready to love without losing yourself, ready to be chosen without confusion. Listen to this, because if this message feels like it's speaking directly to you, that's because it is, and I want you to comment, "I receive it," if your heart feels seen right now, because speaking it anchors it, and let this be your declaration, your agreement with what I am doing in your life.